and Six Ravens is only one of a few things happening this year.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
exciting
so
for
to-
you. I'm good at that.
Yeah, I just get to show up and eat. Welcome, foolish mortals, to Grim Grinning Dads, the show where three Disney-loving dads share travel tips, hot takes, and for today, some stories about cookies. I'm Tyler, and I'm joined as always by Charlie and Caleb. Be sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We've got a really fun one today. We are talking about one of the most iconic stops at Disney Springs. If you've ever waited in that line or debated which half-pound cookie to try, or wondered how a Victorian-era themed bakery became a phenomenon, you're in the right place. Joining us today is the owner and creator of Gideon's Bakehouse, Steve Lewis. Thanks for being here, Steve.
Thank you for having me. I'm just now realizing my lighting is so ominous.
It's awesome.
It is, but it's very fitting, though.
It feels like it's accurate.
It fits the title.
I never use the MacBook camera, and it just picks up. It's doing weird things.
It's
I'm
awesome.
not this ominous in real life, despite the
Well,
fact
but I think
a black cat just jumped off my shoulder a minute ago.
these are all ominous signs. I love it.
It's awesome.
But my first question, I want to ask about your official title from the Gideon's website, the Sublime Prince of the Esoteric Order of Cookie. Where did that come from, or is there a backstory there?
I think the backstory is just me being a ridiculous dork. So I everybody on my team has like the Grand Poobah of operations. You know, I have
That's
everybody's got like just silly titles. Most of them are secret society kind of titles. Like I think the Sublime Prince is the head of the Freemasons. So
Okay.
I stole it from that. It's a little mixture of like Lovecraftian secret society thrown in with a cookie, which is kind of
Nice.
our vibe.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I know that the story of Gideon's, it goes way back before even your first location at East End Market. But I wanted to ask, like, what inspired you to start trying to bake a really great cookie in the first place?
So first of all, we should say that we used to work together,
We did.
and
Yes.
and a lot of what like Gideon's became was because I used to bring cookies to Apple and have everybody taste test. And the menu that I have today at Gideon's was formulated by the feedback that I got from selling cookies to my Apple family.
That's cool.
For better or for worse. Like I hate that there's a cookies or cream cookie on the menu. And I put that on there because it was the most popular with Apple people. So I wanted to officially get that out of the way, and thank you
So it might be that might be partially my fault
for
because I
being
do
a
like
part
that
of that
one.
little world.
It's
Yeah,
not my favorite, but I do like it.
That's funny.
but cookies are have always been my stress hobby. I started working on my chocolate chip cookie recipe when I was a young teenager. So I found that in the emo life of a young teen, I needed some kind of an outlet. And I would listen to sad music and bake without any idea of what I was baking. I used to fancy myself like mad scientist, where I would just combine some weird things in my grandma's kitchen and suddenly make some unique concoction that the world has never known before.
That's cool.
So yeah, I started baking when I was sad. Uh, I've always said the secret ingredient in Gideon's cookies are my tears, because I like listen to the Carpenters and cry in cookie dough.
Oh my
And
god.
it is not a lie that I started sprinkling salt on top of my cookies when I was young, way before people started mixing like the sweet and salty,
Uh-huh.
as a representation of my tears.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
So
That's
when
amazing.
when I
That's
see people crying like at Gideon, sometimes you'll see a kid that goes into a dark space and they start crying. I tell the parents to save the tears for me. You know, I'm running out.
Has anybody
Wow.
ever sent you tears from their kids? Like when you
No,
make
but
that
one of
reference? That's
one of our
hilarious.
merch ideas was that we would sell vials that you can package up your tears and then send them back to us.
Oh,
But
that's amazing.
the idea
Wow.
that someone would send us back liquid in a vial,
No, that's the
seems like a little too risky, so I got shot down on that one.
Probably for the
People
better.
really love those cookies.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I never meant to open up a bakery. It's just it happened out of necessity because my first business, which was like this really interesting art gallery slash comic shop in Winter Park,
Yeah.
I didn't survive the
Love Winter Park.
2008 crash. So I lost my business, I lost my house, I lost everything, and I started selling cookies out of my kitchen just to pay some bills. Uh, and and it got out of control. Like, I joke that I'm just an overachieving home baker.
That's a
Nice.
really interesting title.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. That's really cool. Now, looking at where Gideon's is at today, right? You've got the 2 locations in the Orlando area, one in Springs, Winter Park. Did you ever think that you would become a place where people plan their day? Because, like, for me, I very much make it a point when I'm in the Disney area to make it to Disney Springs and carve out a chunk of time so that I can get into Gideon's and get my cookies.
So there's kind of 2 answers. There's a yes and no to that. Uh, the no comes from me not taking anything that I do very seriously, um, and having a really hard time with the idea that anyone cares about what I do at all, and that's still something that just boggles my mind that anyone cares. But then there's that flip side of my brain that's a planner, and my team will make fun of me because I'll have these moments where I need to lie down on a moon pod in a dark space with a weighted blanket over me and just close my eyes and think about the path and we want it to go, where it can go,
Right?
and start to plan for that. So I always I remember being super broke. I opened Gideon's with $800, and I was driving this Scion XB, which is a little toaster of a car, and every night I would have to go to Sam's and load up on chocolate chips and everything I needed for
Right.
the next day because I was selling out every day. And my car bottomed out, like it was rubbing the tires.
Oh my
And I'm like,
goodness.
oh man, I need a new car. And I went to my bank and I asked if I can get a loan to buy a Jeep, and they
Sure.
told me to piss off because I had
Wow.
nothing.
Mhm.
Uh, so I made it my mission in a lot of ways to not be that. And I
Wow.
remember in the very first few months of Gideon's talking to Maurice at Regions and saying, "Hey, if I ever wanted to open up a shop at Disney and needed $1 million loan, what do I need to do with your bank to build that relationship?"
Ooh,
And
that's a good question.
and I listened, like we worked together to the point where I'm one of their bigger clients now. But
That's
it was a
cool.
lot of steps in that process.
Well, it just like
Going off on a tangent.
Gideon's has become such this like
Oh, planning.
it's just an attraction for others. Like it's an
Yeah.
attraction for me. It's one of the reasons why I go to Disney Springs. Well, one of the only reasons. And it I will go out of my way to go to Gideon's and load up on a dozen cookies.
So to that question, yeah, there was always that part of me that had to plan for
Yeah.
being at Disney, and then even though it was almost a set as in jest, like
Mhm.
I will admit I'm not a big Disney parks person.
Sure.
Uh, I'm a branding person, and
Sure.
I understand Disney's brand, and escapism is a huge part of the Gideon's experience. So for me, I thought if I wanted to open up a more uh, immersive Gideon's, I couldn't do it next to a subway and a plaza. Like
Mm,
no pun intended, but the escapism is built into Disney's brand. So I knew
true.
that I wouldn't have to work so hard to capture that magic, to capture that feeling. Um, so there was always that plan of what that would look like and how to get there. And then in planning for that, you always have to think, well, what if you get, a few thousand people a day? How do you deal with that?
Mhm.
What are the logistics of it? We had to have those conversations.
Yeah,
Uh, so
that's cool.
yes, I always plan for it to be a big thing, but not out of ego, out of the necessity of needing to
Sure.
prepare for it should that happen so that you're not completely overwhelmed and in a lot of
Right.
trouble.
No, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Try
Yeah.
sometimes.
I
Yeah.
ju
So, I want to go back. Just maybe you can elaborate a little bit on like how did the partnership with Disney kind of come about? So
Yeah.
once you had East End kind of established, and it was successful, but still a local bakery. How did you make that leap into Disney Springs?
It was a tough one, but I remember I was open at East End Market for a few months, and it was right when Disney Springs was transitioning into what it is now.
Mhm.
And James Petrakis, the owner of the Ravenous Pig, which is one of the icons of local business in Central Florida, had the opportunity to create the Polite Pig out at Disney Springs.
So
And
good.
he had come to me to get cookies at East End and asked me if I'd be interested in doing their dessert menu. And I said no, uh, mostly because one, Gideon's isn't a wholesale experience, but two, I didn't have I think I had one or two employees at the time max, and I'm selling out at noon every day. I just didn't know what I was doing. So I had to be realistic about that request. Um, but as I started to get a handle on my world and think about what it would mean to expand, uh, I revisited that relationship and I thought, what if I allowed them to do the chocolate chip cookie only as a secret menu item so I had no pressure to supply? It could just be a little bit, it could be nothing if I can't
Mm,
handle it. And I only did that out of curiosity to see if the lines would form there that I was having at East End, because East End was fortunate enough to have lines going down the sidewalk all the time. Uh, what if I recreated that? Would it catch someone at Disney's attention?
mm,
And the very first day the cookie was there, there's a popular fan blog called the Disney Food Blog, and
mhm,
they posted
mhm.
a picture of the Gideon's cookie in front of the Polite Pig sign and proclaimed it one of the best things to eat on Disney property. And that was it.
So good. So good.
Like, it literally just snowballed like crazy from there. With that said, I'm a nobody, and, Disney offered me little nibbles of opportunity, but I had it in my head that if I couldn't create that escapism, I didn't wanna do it, and I stuck to my guns, and it was a year it turned into a multi-year conversation.
Nice.
Dang, that's so cool. I'm
Yeah, I
just
mean, my mental rule was if I can't brand the outside of the building, I don't wanna do it.
so like
So
that,
if it
like
were like an inline store that I could only put like a logo on the window and it didn't have that vibe and feel. But I also, to your earlier question, needed to prepare for what it would look like if we had the crazy lines. And the nice thing about the Gideon's building is that it's the only real space at Disney Springs that has a stretch of empty before
Mhm.
you block someone else's door.
Yep.
So I wanted that space specifically going into the conversation, and everything worked out when years later
Well,
I finally had
I
that
think
opportunity.
I think it's fitting because the
Yeah,
the
and I
the
wanted to
amount
put a
of people,
gargoyle on a corner, so that
right?
was an easy spot to do it.
The
Yeah.
yeah, I'm always blown away by the number of people that are lined outside of Gideon's, and that and that's just the people lined up to get into the store. That's not including the virtual queue or any of that stuff. So like it it it's truly amazing and remarkable what's happened at Gideon's, and I applaud you because
Thank you.
that's
Yeah, we're
something I
really
just
fortunate to have
can't
had
even
that
imagine.
for what is, we just had Friday was our 5-year anniversary of our grand opening.
Yeah,
And we haven't had
and
a day in 5 years that didn't have that line. There's always been someone at the
yeah,
register from open to close since the day we opened.
yeah, and then you went and dropped some information on us on Friday.
which we'll get to.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm not getting ahead.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. I can't wait. I don't think you're going to spoil any opening dates, but I look forward to trying it later this year.
I couldn't spoil one if I wanted to because I don't have one for you.
Fair enough. So I'm going to put Charlie on the spot a little bit here because he has yet to try Gideon's. He has not tried any cookies. So for a first timer going to the shop, what is like the quintessential Gideon's experience?
I mean, I always say that the menu represents a multitude of different emotions. So it really depends on how you feel on that particular day. You know, if you're feeling like a little kid, the classic chocolate chip cookie is a great way to go. If you're having an overly emotional day, something that's a richer, deeper in chocolate, like the triple chocolate cookie.
So good.
For me, the banana bread chocolate chip cookie paired with the peanut butter cold brew is magic. It's one of my favorite things. And then there's a lot, every month we do a different seasonal cookie that's just a monthly special. And everybody has a favorite. Every time I drop anything, people are like, please make this one a permanent menu item. This one a permanent menu item. Like it never ends. But there's certain ones that just hit me, and I have to stay away from the store. Like we do a peanut butter cold brew cookie that just filled with like freshly ground espresso. I hate Reese's Pieces, but I've got Reese's Pieces on it because it just works. It's so good. We just had the Krampus cookie for the holiday.
Yep.
Is like that perfect balance of like a triple chocolate salted Andes mint cookie that we also do a cold brew version of. And I love to wash down the cookie with the cold brew. And normally I like to pair different flavors, not have two similar flavors working together. But man, that one I get in so much trouble. So the cheap answer is there's no suggestion.
There's no right answer.
Whatever I wouldn't put it on the menu if I didn't stand behind it, except for the cookies cream cookie.
Okay, please. Okay.
Yeah,
you gotta
expand
on that a little bit because
I can and I do, and my team rolls their eyes when they hear me go into my rant. But because I'll tell people online, don't get cookies and cream. Come on. It's the second most popular cookie at the Disney Springs location.
Really?
Behind the original chocolate chip?
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, banana breads kind of beat it out.
Okay.
Because that one was a limited edition cookie, and it's the only cookie that ever did transition from special edition cookie to permanent menu item, just because it was so beloved. And I'm a brat, and it's my favorite, so I made it permanent.
You can make that call.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get to play that card.
Yeah. But I think with my reasoning behind cookies and cream is that cookie was made to taste like an Oreo milkshake in a cookie, and it does. And it was really hard to do that. Cookie's a pain in the ass, but you know what an Oreo milkshake tastes like.
Right.
So you don't need it in that cookie. It's not giving you this flavor experience that you can't get anywhere else. And, I haven't had every chocolate chip cookie in the world, but even the chocolate chip cookie, I haven't had one like my cookie before. It's a unique experience.
Agreed.
So I prefer people try things that are unique and not so safe. And cookies and cream is pretty safe. Then there's a secondary part to why I get annoyed with that cookie. It's really expensive to make. Like they're all common. Everything is expensive to make these days, but double stuffed Oreo is the only way to make that cookie taste like a milkshake. If you use regular Oreos, it's just going to be dry. You need that.
It's too much cookie and not
of cream. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody wholesales. There's no such thing as wholesale avenue for double stuff because no other bakery uses double stuff certainly on the level that we need it at. So we go to Walmart. We get at Walmart. I don't want to shop at Walmart. No disrespect, but
But still,
I've literally gone to Walmart and just loaded up. I'm like, oh, they got a special going. Fill the entire cart with every double stuffed Oreo they've got.
Double stuffed Oreo.
And then people are like, you must really love Oreos. As I'm checking out, I'm like, I really don't.
But everybody else does.
A lot of other people do.
So there's my Oreo rant.
Okay.
Thank you for listening.
Fair enough.
No, I appreciate
it bummed
that.
me out. We were doing our holiday episode talking about the festive cookies that were going to be at Gideon's, and we were in Orlando for a couple of days in December. Or was it December or November, guys?
November.
Holy
Good
buckets.
God. I don't know. It's too many. Shut up.
What is
Caleb.
time, guys?
What is time? I don't know.
Right.
We were there in November, and we were going to try to fit in a visit to Gideon's because I had never gotten to do it, and we just didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
Like with the amount of stuff like going back and forth. But I was so interested in all of the different, like the Krampus cookie specifically reached out. And Caleb, so I'm expecting the cold brew. I'm expecting you to send me that when you go
I
in
don't know
April.
how I'm going to do that.
I don't know either.
You can't.
You're going to figure
it's
it
impossible.
out. And
I'll send you the
I want
leftovers.
those 2 cookies. Don't send me the leftovers.
I'll send you the cup. After
yeah,
I
Cup
drink
with
it.
your
I gotta
like
get
mouth
down there.
print on it.
Right.
I gotta get down there. Hey, Beth, I'm going down to Orlando just to get cookies at this point.
Yeah, and then
Not going for World.
it's a day trip. Like I'll go down there and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom has become a glorified cookie delivery system every time she comes out to Vegas.
Oh, it breaks my
stops
heart
at-
though, because they're meant to be enjoyed day of.
Oh,
Yeah.
I believe
I
me. If it was
100%
up
agree.
to me, I absolutely would. But I
Yep.
usually say if she flies out, early morning, I say like the night before, go to East End, get 4 or 6, because like each member of my family has a different favorite. So
4
just
or
get the
6.
variety. Yeah. So that's just what we do. But I want to go back just a little bit. Like when you're developing a new cookie, like what does that process look like now? Like how many variations and tests do you go through before something gets the okay to actually go on the menu?
Do you
This is gonna
start
sound like
out
an
by sitting in a
exaggeration.
gravity tank? Like, do you go to like one of those water tanks and just like experience just nothingness for a while you're thinking about new cookies? Like,
I mean, I'd say at this point, it's become more of a team effort than just me dictating. Because I've been doing this since 2008.
Right.
I need my team to inspire me and come up with some ideas now and again. So I think we're just finally starting to transition into that. Like we just released a banana box pie cookie that
Ooh.
I didn't dictate at all. My team experimented with it and brought me some ideas, and then I give feedback and we go back and forth and back and forth. Usually, and this is not an exaggeration, for a couple of years.
Wow.
whoa.
Like I suck. It took me 15 years to finish my chocolate chip cookie recipe. It took me 7 years to finish that peanut butter cold brew. Like I am a terrible baker. Like,
don't know-
and that's
I don't know about
that's
that.
the comedy. I'm like, people say, why is Gideon so different? It's because I don't know what I'm doing. So I find like weird avenues to get to where I want to go. And sometimes we just need to set something aside and revisit it. Sometimes we wait till the ingredient that we want to use is available in the scale that we need it, which often is a problem. Like there's cookies that we've done that will never come back because the ingredient that we use doesn't exist anymore. And I don't change anything. Like I think one of the things that restaurant owners hear a lot is, you change this, it's not the same. Which I think is just a mental thing that happens with people, because food is more than palate. It's
Correct.
your mood, it's your memories. There's so much attached to it. But I can say with extreme confidence that we've never changed anything about
Wow.
a Gideon's cookie.
Wow.
They're made exactly the way that they made them when I was a little kid, using the exact same ingredients, the exact same brands. And this has happened to us before, like we use Guittard white chocolate chips. That's the only white chocolate chip that I can stomach. And and one year we were dumb enough to do back-to-back limiteds of white chocolate, and we depleted the entire country's supply of Guittard white chocolate chips. And instead of swapping it with another brand, I just had to put out a post that said, "I'm so sorry, this one's not going to make it through the rest of the month. We're going to have to transition into something else
Wow.
because I'm not going to compromise on that flavor profile. I want
Right.
consistency is really important in the food business for sure. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to change."
Wow.
even when chocolate chip goes up 65%.
Oh my goodness, right? So
Oh,
how
jeez.
after 15 years did you go, now now this is where it needs to be? Like that now,
Yeah.
uh, like how do you get to that point where you're like, this is what it's supposed to be?
Do you really wanna hear the answer to that
I
question? Because it's
do.
a sad
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
do.
Kinda.
Uh, my beloved dog passed away, and I was
Oh,
very much a boy and his dog. I've got cats now, but I joke that I'm a dog person with cats. I've never been able to get another dog since I lost my girl. We were super,
mm,
super close. And when she passed away, I did what I do. I locked myself in my house for 3 weeks and I baked.
mm.
Uh, and I dedicated that cookie to my dog and promised myself I'd never touch it again.
Oh,
So that's
Okay.
the only reason why the chocolate chip cookie just stopped.
wow.
The
That
journey was
is
over.
amazing.
That's awesome.
That's
What
a
an
great
incredible
story.
tribute to your dog too, though. Like that's
Yeah.
now I feel
Uh,
like I have to go back and do something momentous to all the little furry
I
ones that I've had pass away.
I know, I'm like, "Yo,
Oh
I
my
didn't do
goodness.
anything for my
That's
dogs."
so awesome, man.
yeah, I
Oh,
mean, as you can see, I've I've got quite
right?
an animal life. This little one likes to be cheek to cheek all day.
Oh,
But yeah, I
Fair.
mean, that's the negative to that is Gideon's isn't really a business to me. It's really personal.
I love that.
Mm.
You know, if you're a jackass on social media, I'm gonna get busy about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's never about like if you don't like the cookie, that's all well and good. You know,
right.
we all like food is art is subjective. But if you're an ass about it,
Mhm.
it's taken me a few years to just just leave it alone. I've never been a fan of social media or the internet
Sure,
in general, and I really work hard to try to minimize my exposure
sure.
to it because I don't want to be any more brain broken than I already am. So I've gotten better about it over the years, but it is hard to open up a business that's so intertwined with all of your memories
Mhm.
and heartbreak and pain, you know.
Gideon's has a special place in my heart, and it's just cool that we get to peel back the layer and we get to talk to you a little bit more about it. And now I don't I'm speaking for myself only. Now Gideon's has even more of a special place in my heart, just knowing all this stuff. So I really appreciate you sharing.
I mean, and I think a lot of locals know it. You know, it's really local, it's really personal. You know, and it's become a collection of everybody's memories too, as they take their family and their friends and you know, I think if I talk about a little behind the scenes, I remember getting invited in the journey of trying to get Gideon's at Disney into a room with the president of the parks, which was George K at the time. And it was me, and I got a mop of long hair under this beanie, and my hair is down, and it's just me and Patrick, who's my operations guy who I'd met along the way and was a huge part of the journey of me building relationships at Disney because he's a guy that has all those relationships.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm telling my story to this group of 19 Disney execs, and one of them, I remember her saying that she goes to the East End Market location, and every time she's in line, she makes a friend. And
Mm,
I think that her story was a lot of the reason why the result of that meeting was give Steve what he wants, and it was
that's
that
cool.
building.
That's cool.
But I think that's what makes Gideon so special is there's an authenticity to us.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not a capitalist. You know, I really don't care. I want the business to be healthy and I want to be able to grow and support my
Sure.
team, but there's no secret mission to have a private island, you know, or some
Sure.
selfish, egotistical need to support me beyond, just being able to be comfortable. So there's no financial drive behind Gideon's. It's solely based on community and experience.
That's cool.
And and like I said, there's an authenticity to it. Like I hire people to stand outside and talk to the line. and I don't want them to talk about Gideon's at all. There's no metrics that we follow. There's no upsell that you have to do. I want you to talk about what you're watching on TV. I want you to talk about the concert you just
Mhm.
went to. I want you to talk about the favorite thing that you just ate in Winter Park.
Mhm.
Like that's who we are.
That's cool.
And it's important that we hold on to that. It's one of the reasons why there aren't a million Gideons. I passed on every opportunity for growth. Uh,
Mhm.
and no, I don't wanna. I
Yeah.
don't wanna. If I
That's
shipped
amazing.
alone, I could retire on a private island, but I will not ship those cookies because 'cause they're
Right.
handmade from scratch, and there's no way to ship, meet a national demand unless you automate the process, and I'm not gonna
Right.
do that.
So that touches on a question that I had. So between the two locations now, and you have like a big production like offsite, right? Like a big like
Correct.
warehouse kitchen. What does your day to day look like between those three locations? How do you balance all of that?
Um, I don't go into the retail stores much anymore because they don't want me there. Uh, I love to talk to the guests, and I slow down the machine, if you will. Um, I don't actually go into the big production kitchen either because it gives me anxiety. It's like 100 plus people in there, and I worry that sometimes the weight of that will just start to crawl into my head. So I tend to keep things focused for me on m- my leads, if you will. So my day cycles between dealing with the art, the branding, the merchandise. Then the next day, I'm dealing with the financial end of things and having accounting meetings. Boys, excuse me, there's
It's
a
funny.
battle going on behind me at the moment. So it fluctuates. I tend to spend, in all honesty, most of my days alone right here because I get squirreled really easily. I really suck at having a sense of presence. So I do my best work when I am quiet, alone in a room. And then we have our taste test days on Wednesdays, and then everything else is very reactionary. It 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 would be impossible for me to say that I have any kind of a schedule at all. It's just where do I need to be on what given day? And every single day is full all the time. Usually, like Sundays, I'll play catch up and read all my emails and try to catch up on DMs. It's funny to say, as someone that doesn't like the internet or social media, that I run the Gideon social media.
Ooh.
Oh.
But I love the photography. It would be really weird to have someone else writing something about Gideon's because, again, there's such a local authenticity to who we are that I couldn't hire someone to be a social media manager. That's just weird.
And it wouldn't have your voice.
Yeah, yeah. And I used to be very we in third person about my social media, but I've been a little bit more personal
Mhm.
because one of the challenges that we run into and being on one of the biggest stages on the planet is that people don't realize how local we are.
Right.
They will often think that we're a giant corporation. I joke when people compare me to like a who's better, Gideon's or Crumble Cookies, and I'm like, they are like 3 million locations. What? How are we even in the same conversation?
I mean, the
Um,
obvious answer is still Gideon's. So.
I mean, to each
I
their
mean,
own, for
Mhm.
sure.
you
Um,
could try both side by side. That is a quick decision.
yeah,
Like,
it's a weird one. And then, but I started talking about things a little bit more personally to help people understand how local and I think it works. I like that people feel they can reach out and talk to me anytime. And sometimes it's about Gideon, sometimes it's about their cat, whatever. If I see it, and sometimes it's really hard because we'll get hit with so many just tags and things that things disappear on social media. And I'm one of the worst people in the world at, like, if I see your text or your DM and I'm in a meeting, I'm like, oh, I'll get to that later. Like 7 years later, I'll remember at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'll wake up in a panic.
Oops.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Well,
get
yeah. So
that.
I reached out to you on Tuesday of this past week Not even sure if I would get a reply because I'm sure you get a bunch of those. But yeah, I mean, you responded right away. And little did I know that you would be dropping this huge bit of news later in the week that just makes this like perfect timing.
Oh, yeah,
So
I haven't talked to
let's,
anybody about it yet.
yeah. Oh,
Wait.
awesome. Exclusive first
Oh
interview.
my
Let's
goodness.
go.
Love that.
So let's dive into it. So on Friday, you announced Six Ravens coming soon to Disney Springs. Well, first of all, where did the name come from?
So at Gideon's, we're more than just cookies. We have a lot of lore and storytelling to what we do. Our art
Mhm.
director, Michael Reyes, had his first art gallery show at Gideon's, or I'm sorry, at Uberbot, which was my art gallery way back in the day. And
Mhm.
we've been like just brothers ever since. So we have a lot of fun coming up with characters and creations. And one of them was this character that we just called the Six Ravens. And we had this really interesting backstory about the Tower of London. And there, if you're not familiar, there is this true superstition about the Tower of London that if they don't have six ravens on property at all times, the kingdom will fall. So you will always see these giant ravens on property when you go and visit the Tower of London. And I found that to be a fascinating story,
Mhm.
but there is no backstory to where that came from. So we created it, and we created this character that is known as the Six Ravens. That was the supernatural creature that met with the king, or that the king sought her out and learned how to protect the kingdom.
That's
So
cool.
one of the things
That's
I've said
cool.
a lot about Gideon's is I don't have any interest in being a multi-store thing. I don't want to lose the personal touch of what Gideon's is. Um, but the way that we grow as a business and give more opportunity to the team and give creative outlets to my chefs and bakers and people that have so much talent is to not try to grow Gideons, but grow the characters themselves and let
Mm.
them explore and be their own world. So there's a lot in our head of what is possible, and Six Ravens came about just through conversations with our good friends and partners at Disney Springs, and what the park needed, and
Mhm.
how we can best fulfill that need. And I thought my original thought with Six Ravens was almost being a curator than a creator,
Mm.
and what I mean by that is my greatest motivation to be out at the parks is to represent local business, and I'm just a local snob. I want all things local. I want to support
Mhm.
local. I go and eat at every food truck, every
Love
pop
that.
up, every baker, every sandwich maker. Like I want to see what people are doing, and I love being able to. I think it's probably the art gallery brain in me to help put a spotlight on people that are doing just amazing creative work. So I had the idea that with something like Six Ravens, we can create this hand pie concept and then work with some of our favorite local restaurants to create flavors that represented the work that they were doing in hopes that it gives a breadcrumb to people that are new to Central Florida into the Central Florida community
Mm.
that they haven't experienced if they haven't left the parks. And I think that's worked with Gideon's in of itself because people will leave Disney Springs to go and visit the original Gideon's in the East End Market, and in doing so, discover all of the amazing food and talent at the East End Market. So Six Ravens gives me the opportunity to do that on a more precise level, um, and we're really really excited about it. Even though we
That's amazing.
barely started. Barely started. There's so much work to do and
Oh
still
yeah, I mean,
do it.
yeah, cat's out of the bag now. So yeah, all you
Yeah,
can
I
do
mean,
is push
and this
forward.
is something that actually, started in 2022 is when the seed was planted. And this is an interesting year for me, um, because I've been planting a lot of seeds just to see what felt right,
Mhm.
um, and explore, where the universe was pushing me into. And, and Six Ravens is only one of a few things happening this year.
That's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That's pretty
Exciting
cool.
for
So to,
you. I'm scared to death.
yeah, I just get to show up and eat.
I was
So
like,
yeah,
right?
that's
It's
yeah,
pretty easy for us.
I show up with a piece of plastic, tap the thing, get my cookie, get my food, and walk
yeah.
away.
And,
I have to
at the
say,
end of the day, too, I'm a single owner business. I don't have any partners or investors. I do this myself.
Oh wow.
So I woke
Wow.
up this morning. I'm like, oh man, this year's going to be awesome. Oh my God, I'm going to be in so much
my
debt.
God.
This is so scary. But
I
again, it's going to create some really great opportunity, and if I get the same support with some of this growth with the Central Florida community that I've had since opening Gideon's 10 years ago, uh, then I'll be okay. I have faith in the
That's
support that I get
so
locally.
crazy.
So when you started kind of developing the idea for Six Ravens, did you intend to go a different direction with the menu, do
Right.
something more savory, or did that come about as part of that collaboration with the other chefs?
No, just like everything, it started in my kitchen. I actually saw a like an Instagram memory or Facebook memory, whatever that is, of me making the first Six Ravens hand pie attempt in my kitchen, and it was mozzarella, like super thick, fresh cut. It was a homemade basil pesto that I had made. Some London broil. Like it had a
Ooh.
bunch of really interesting stuff in it, and that was the first test. When it originally started, it was meant to be more of a pie crust, almost like a dessert pie crust. Um, but I remember thinking, well, this is a little too empanada.
Hmm.
It's a couple notches off what people have had before, but it's not unique enough for me. So we ended up pulling in a different direction, and this is gonna be a deep cut for you guys. I'm old, so no one I talk to knows what I'm talking about with this. But when I was a little kid, my family would go to this steakhouse in town called Quincy's, and Quincy's had these yeast rolls, and the the mascot was a dancing yeast roll, the big fat yeast roll, they called it. And I was obsessed with that thing, man.
What?
Like, I
How
love that yeast
creative.
roll. So Six Ravens turned into, like, me wanting to put, some savory offerings inside of a Quincy's big fat yeast roll.
Oh my God.
Gabriel,
That's
our merch
awesome.
manager, even found, like, an old Quincy's yeast roll character stuffed animal or stuffed yeast roll and bought it on eBay, and we've got it sitting in
That's
the
awesome.
office for inspiration.
That's
So
awesome.
That's
it
amazing.
ended up being its own thing where it is pretty unique, and you've got, like, really soft, yeast roll breading around this, multitude of different sandwiches. Like, the one that I was working on the most, selfishly is, I'm from New York, and I can never get a good, breakfast bacon, egg, and cheese, around here. So there's one of the yeast rolls. If it ends up on the final menu, we'll see. But it's just this awesome bacon, egg, and cheese that I want to eat all the time with a little everything bagel seasoning on top.
Oh, I'm in.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
where can I get
That
one right
sounds
now?
I was gonna say,
That's
is
my
that
favorite thing.
is that gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
on
really good and
gonna be on the
balanced,
menu?
and it's been one of my favorites. But uh, it's a very small space,
Yeah.
and I will say Gideon's has been a unique opportunity to manage a line, and there's nowhere else to do that. So I'm a little worried going in that if we're really, really popular, we're in a lot of trouble. Um, but we'll see. I mean, I don't, and this could be famous last words, but I certainly don't expect it to be Gideon's level of stuff, just because the uniqueness of Gideon's is you can load up and take
Hmm.
it back to your hotel,
Hmm.
take it home to your state. People get it to enjoy it later. As much as I want them to enjoy it on day one, that's just, I can't control it.
Hmm.
Uh, Six Ravens is meant to be enjoyed in that moment. That's a sandwich that's
Sure.
fresh out of the oven and ready to go.
Yeah.
So I don't expect it to get hoarded in the way that Gideon's does, which causes so much of that that never-ending line. It'll be something that you'll want to visit in the moment you need it.
Mhm.
So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Kat? Am I in trouble?
The cat wants that
Cat's
sandwich.
going like, oh, so we're gonna go have that, right?
I'm gonna have that
Yeah,
sandwich
you're
right now.
gonna do some more testing right now, please.
Yeah. Okay. So that's my question. So like, you stay pretty much where you're at, right? You work out at. I'm guessing that's your home. Do you like test stuff like at your house? Like, do you bake at home?
No, as a matter of fact, my house has
Oh, that's
my
cool.
house has the smallest kitchen known to man.
Okay.
Um, I can't do anything in my house. So I actually converted my kitchen and what limited space I have into a little cafe. So
Oh, nice.
my kitchen is been a testing ground for coffee. Um,
Oh,
and that's pretty much all I do. Um, Everything else when it comes to Gideon's is every Wednesday we get together, we do taste testing. We've limited it to 1 day a week just for so we don't die. Um, because
eating half
to the
pound
point
cookies.
earlier, like when we're testing out a new cookie, sometimes we have 6, 7 versions of it in front of us at one time with just very slight variations, and it gets really hard, and it sounds awesome, but it hurts.
Yeah.
And on a taste
I can
testing day,
imagine.
there is no other meal that you eat. You just know that you've maxed out your calories times 10 for the day, so you're not going home and having dinner.
Yeah, you're
So
fasting for the
you're
next day.
nutritionally screwed every Wednesday. At least I am.
Well, then, so it sounds like you'll be mixing in some of the savory stuff as well. So
I was
maybe
gonna
it
say,
won't be
yeah. Are
Yeah,
you
so
gonna?
quite
Six
so bad.
Ravens, we're actually putting together a production kitchen just for that space. Gideon's has no more space, and I've spent
Wow.
the last few years looking for a good place to put a new kitchen, which has been really hard. And this is behind the scenes business stuff again too. But the cost of doing business in the world these days has gotten impossible.
Yeah, it's
And
expensive.
like the Gideon's kitchen, I was able to lease a kitchen space or just a warehouse space and convert it into a production kitchen for a couple $100,000 worth of build out on electrical and AC. And 4 years later, trying to do the exact same thing for Six Ravens, the the exact same build out cost and the same facility just a couple doors down was $1.2 million.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
so
So
like slight
so a
uptick.
lot of the pause and why it takes so long to do stuff is because you have to find the means to do it. And again, I don't have partners or investors. I'm not a multi-billion dollar corporation. It's hard to find those avenues. It's a lot. So we got really lucky and just found something at the last second.
That's cool.
In February, we start building out the kitchen that will support the Six Ravens concept. And once we have that space, hopefully we have a few months of just hardcore R&D to make sure that everything we do is the best we know how to do. And that's the Gideon's thing. Like I don't believe in the best. There's no such thing as the best cookies in the world. Everybody's opinions are different. But
Yeah.
we need to feel like everything we're doing is pushing it to the limit. What's the best equipment to get to where we need to get? What are the best flavor profiles? What makes everybody just excited and wanting to have that, bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning? The smashed potatoes with, I jokingly call it my world famous honey mustard, which it's one of my babies. I've been doing honey mustard for decades. So I'm excited to finally have somebody outside of my little tiny circle of friends try it. Um,
Did you
I'm
take that photo of the that you posted? Did you
I
take all the
did, yeah.
photos?
I've taken every photo, yeah.
Oh my god.
oh,
Those
like
potatoes look insane. Well, they're like smashed potatoes, and then you've got it in the like wooden bowl with that honey mustard.
With that honey mustard, baby.
Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. So we're gonna have some good sauces, both for the hand pies, for the potatoes. We're building relationships with local brewers for beer. I don't drink, so that's gonna be a tough part for me. But I'm gonna have to trust in my team and what their favorite things are.
Yeah.
But we are gonna do a root beer, on tap that's,
Ooh,
just for me because
that's
I wanna
cool.
look cool with my beer cup too.
I love
Hell
that.
yeah.
I
Hell
love
yeah.
that.
Yeah. But I love the idea of being able to do some like breakfast things. I mean, you could like really cover the whole day, and you could even probably venture into some dessert type like pie fillings in the same kind of hand pie if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
I mean, it's interesting, we call them coffins, because that's actually the original term for hand pie, so the word coffin with a Y predates coffins in cemeteries. So they were originally called
No kidding.
coffins because it was breading that wrapped a protein and kept it safe for travel. Uh,
Oh,
so I felt it was a really great canvas to work with,
that's
to
cool.
do a lot of different things. Uh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do desserts in it though, to be honest with you. We have played around with it, and I'm gravitating more towards some other stuff that we've done at Gideon's before that was really popular that I think will work really well. But the same thing though, that it's still the same canvas on the dessert side that I could even work with some of my other favorite bakeries. I don't wanna hog the spotlight for all of that either. So, I just wanna have fun working with my peers, and figure out what I'm gonna do if I don't like it. I have to
Mhm.
say I
Yeah.
don't like that because I don't wanna be that guy that's like, "No, that's we can do better." I can do that to my team, but to do that to other chefs in town, that is gonna be a learning curve for me.
Sure.
Well, then, things can just become a limited run item and you move on to the next thing.
Right.
Yeah, which we will do, like, I don't think I don't know if we'll do the monthly drops like we do at Gideon's, because, I wanna let these creations that we do with, some local creatives, last a little longer. So it might just be more seasonal things, but we'll see. One of the things, that I learned with Gideon's is get out of its way. Gideon's was if Gideon's were everything that I thought it would be a different bakery. Gideon's didn't want to have a bunch of pastries and different things. It wanted to do cookies, cakes, and cold brew. And I tell this to people a lot. I don't like giving advice, but I always say, like, don't let your listen to what your business wants to be. Don't try to force it into a mold that it doesn't want to be in. So Six Ravens is new, and we're going to be learning what it is on the big stage in front of everybody, which is a little daunting. Gideon's got to test everything out in a 286 square foot space in the Easton Market before we jumped into the spotlight. But I'm excited. I think we're gonna do some really fun stuff.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
can't
I'm
wait.
excited for that
I'm
merch,
so
man.
excited.
I'm just
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at some of your like initial designs. When can I get a T-shirt with the I don't even know, is that like a sorceress with the six ravens surrounding her? Like
Yeah, I mean,
that's
and that is her. She is the Ravens, and she is the woman. So
oh,
she's just known as the
so
Six Ravens.
cool.
That's so
Yeah, that's
cool.
sold out, my friend. You gotta run to eBay for that one now. The people that have the original art print for that, because we released it as a print,
Uh,
that's signed by the amazing Michael Reyes. Um, that's, that might be something worth keeping.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to eBay immediately after
Yeah,
this.
I'm looking right
No, I
now. I'm like,
Yeah, now's the
I would
time,
definitely
like,
love the
before it gets a little, because if it does do well and it is popular, it might be really hard to get there's a
holy moly.
sticker, there's a pin, there's a Six Ravens pin, there's a art print, there's a T-shirt, so
yeah, I would
we'll
love
see.
the logo with the Roman numeral 6 with the
That's cool
raven
too.
on top. I would love that on a t-shirt. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, we will do some things with Six Ravens, but you'll know it's the OG stuff if it says Gideon's Bakehouse underneath, because it's not
Yeah.
gonna say that moving forward. So there you go, little, little
Little
tea
teaser.
on Six Ravens, yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much, Steve, for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's good to see you after all this time. It's been too long. I'll
Yeah, I
definitely
can't believe
I'll
it's been 10 years since I worked at Apple,
Wow.
That's
yeah.
wild.
which is the only real,
That's
like, corporate job I had, but I started to work for Apple. I went to work for Apple in between losing my art gallery and opening Gideon's, because I needed a new laptop, and I needed the discount because I was broke,
That's
and I
awesome.
needed insurance.
Yep.
And they treated us right. It was no regrets. I learned a lot. I think one of the things that was interesting about working for Apple is they also weren't like pushing us to drive sales, 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 sales. It was
Mhm.
really about creating those connections and experiences,
Yeah.
which is always how I viewed small business. So
100%.
I had a good time. It was a pleasure to work
Yeah.
with you.
Well, I'm definitely going to hit you up next time I'm in Orlando. Hopefully we can get together and you can show me some of these local places that I'm not familiar with yet.
So much, man. There's so much. I need to take a break from trying new things all the time. There's a place called the Pink Salamander that does these just amazing smash burgers, and I've got a brewery at the
Ooh.
end of my street, so there's a different food truck there all the time.
Yep.
I'm gonna get in trouble, man. Every time he's there, I told him I won't eat for 2 days just so I could eat 2 smash burgers when he shows up.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Dude.
awesome.
That's
That's
amazing.
man.
All right,
I'm
gentlemen. Well, anything else that I can assist you with today? Any other questions?
no, yeah,
I-
I'm beyond excited for
Yeah.
what's coming in 2026. And you alluded to Six Ravens not being the only thing, and I'm just super thankful that you took time out of your day to come join us and let us pick your brain on some stuff.
It's my pleasure. I told Tyler that Sunday is my don't talk day because I'm a super introvert and I have to charge. But for him, you guys got me on a Sunday, even if I'm in
Love
my
it.
gym clothes and
Yeah.
Oh,
looking ratty.
we love it. Let it
No,
happen.
we appreciate it, guys. Well, again, for all the listeners out there, please follow along with us. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Find us on TikTok and Instagram. And be sure to join us the next time when the dads come out to socialize.